Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and we're going to learn the vertex form of a quadratic equation. I know you know how to find the vertex. You know, x equals negative b over 2a, and then you take that answer and you plug it back into the equation, right? You plug it in for x. Well, in this case, we're going to learn a simpler way to get the vertex, okay? It's called the vertex form of a quadratic equation. And first we need to remember how to complete the square. We're going to use that. It's very similar to that. It's almost the same exact thing. And so remember, we're going to go x squared plus 6x plus blank equals, and then we're going to add the 16 to both sides, right? And then we're going to take half of b, right? We're going to cut that in half, which will be 3, and we're going to square it and get 9. Okay. And so then this becomes a perfect square trinomial, and we will be reviewing factoring soon. So this will factor like that, right? Because it's a perfect square trinomial. And this will equal 25. Now, to undo this exponent here, let me get rid of that 3 so it doesn't confuse anybody. To undo that exponent, I need to use the inverse operation, which would be the root. And I have to do it to that side as well. And over here on the left-hand side, I'm simply going to get x plus 3. And that's going to equal plus or minus 5. And then I'll subtract 3 and subtract 3. And then x will equal negative 3 plus or minus 5. And so then x would equal negative 8. Or x will equal positive 2. And I just found the zeros. Okay, I'm going to use a technique very similar to that to find the vertex. Okay, so normally we do the negative b over 2a, but watch how this works. I'm not going to take anything to the other side. I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to spread this out, x squared plus 8x. Oops, that's not an x, silly Mr. Lawrence. 8x, and then we go plus the blank. And I'm going to put plus 5 here. Need the y equals, but I'm not going to put plus a blank, I'm going to put minus a blank. If you think about it, I'm on the same side of the equation, so instead of adding it to both sides, I'm going to add it to the right-hand side, and I'm going to subtract it from the right-hand side, which means I'll be canceling it out. Now, I'm not actually going to do the canceling, but watch what's going to happen. So I'm going to take half of 8, which is 4, and 4 squared is 16. That goes in the blanks. Now, these first 3 terms here are a perfect square trinomial. And so they're going to factor like y equals x plus 4 quantity squared. And this is negative 11. And I know the vertex. The vertex is at negative 4, negative 11. Yeah, no kidding. Isn't that kind of cool? Here, check this out. Let's type in that equation. What is it? Y equals x squared plus 8x plus 5, right? Uh-oh, what is all that other stuff? Let me get rid of all that other stuff. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to graph it. Uh-oh, I'm probably looking at the wrong part. Let me do a zoom 6 on this, as soon as it lets me. Zoom 6. Oh my goodness. I've never seen it do that before. Crazy. Let's see, y equals. There we go. Let's try zoom 6. Looks like my parabola dips a little bit lower, so I'm going to lower my window here. My y minimum. And my y minimum, I'll make it negative 20. Then I'll graph it. There we go. And what did I say it was at? Negative 4? Let me do a trace and type negative 4 in for x. And look at y. It's negative 11 and it's sitting at the vertex. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think so. All right, so let's try another one. Let's try another one. Okay, so we're going to go rewrite this. Y equals x squared minus 7x plus blank plus the 10, and then minus the blank, because they're on the same side of the equation. I'm going to take half of 7, which is 7 halves, and I'm going to square it. Oh, do I have a silly mistake? Half of 7 squared. 7/2. It's going to be 49/4. Yeah, I think I made a silly mistake. Yeah, I have to square that. Okay. All right. And so I'm going to subtract 49/4 over here. Now, if I want to, I could think about that as 12 1/4. Right? Okay, I've just made these first three terms right here a perfect square trinomial. That'll factor as x squared. There's a plus in the back. There's a plus in the back. It's a Wendy's double stack. It's a minus. And it's going to be what I squared to get this. It'll be 7/2. And then, if I've got negative 12 1/4 and a positive 10, that would be minus 2 1/4. I know the vertex. The vertex is going to be at positive 3 1/2. 7/2 is 3 1/2, right? And if you prefer, I can go decimal there. Okay, since the other one's in decimal. So 3 1/2, and then negative 2 1/4. Okay, and I'll let you verify. You can go to desmos.com and type in the equation and see if you do get the vertex there. I bet you will. All right, one more. Okay, there we go. So we're going to rewrite the equation. Y equals x squared plus 8x. That is not an x, Mr. Lawrence. Sorry, we're doing vertical motion problems in my level 2 class, and they're stuck in my head. All right, minus the 12. Then minus the blank. We do plus the blank, minus the blank, because we're on the same side of the equation. Half of this is 4 squared is 16. 16. Group those three together. I've got a perfect square trinomial. Y is going to equal x plus 4 quantity squared minus 28. My vertex is at negative 4, negative 28. Pretty easy stuff. That's it. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some graphing, finding the vertex that way. You can find, the x-intercepts by doing the quadratic formula, or you can complete the square. Lots of different ways to do it. Okay, so anyway, that's it for the video. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.